Welcome back to the Cosmic Awakening podcast. I am Makāula Nakae, a lifelong experiencer and ET contactee since 1990. I have a wealth of insights and stories to share from decades of lived experiences spanning spiritual, interdimensional, and extraterrestrial contacts. Cosmic Awakening Part 3, 2014's The First Contact, Beyond C5. Chapter 1, Whispers of the Ascended Masters. Episode 2, King Tutankhamun and the Golden Pharaoh. In July, I traveled to Seattle, where I was pleasantly surprised by the warmer weather compared to Honolulu. Despite the cooler climate, I found wearing short sleeves during the day comfortable. During my stay in Seattle, I had the opportunity to visit Mount Shasta. Upon arrival, I was astonished to discover an exhibition featuring King Tutankhamun. Stepping into my hotel room, I was greeted by the sight of a golden mask adorning the cover of a complimentary magazine. The unexpected encounter with Egyptian artifacts in a distant place left me in awe. This coincidence felt extraordinary, especially considering my prior interest in attending the King Tutankhamun exhibition in Chicago. However, circumstances had led me elsewhere at the time. Learning that the Seattle exhibition marked the tour's final stop across the United States felt like a stroke of fate. Since the energy download on October 28th of the previous year, I have noticed a series of mysterious occurrences related to ancient Egypt, leading me to believe in a cosmic design aimed at unraveling its secrets. Among the pharaohs, Amenhotep IV Akhenaten, often referred to as the ET Pharaoh, stood out for his profound connection to Ascension. He established the Amarna period with Tutankhamun as his son. Before encountering the Egyptian exhibition, I had delved into various materials, collecting photos of excavated artifacts and deciphering hieroglyphs inscribed in ancient temples, intending to share Egyptian Ascension-related content on my blog. The temples and stone statues were enigmatic keys to understanding the Ascension, with Tutankhamun's tomb artifacts providing additional insights. My research extended to exploring relics of other pharaohs, albeit with fewer discoveries compared to Tutankhamun's tomb, which was hailed as the discovery of the century. Given the historical significance of Egyptian content, accuracy was paramount in my writings. Thus, I immersed myself in articles to acquire essential knowledge. Initially focused solely on Ascension-related aspects, my research gradually broadened, leading me to comprehend the historical evolution of pharaohs, religious transformations, and the evolution of the Book of the Dead. This deepened my understanding of the evolving funerary practices throughout ancient Egypt's extensive history. The religious perspective of ancient Egypt, along with its artistic expression through temples, statues of deities, and royal artifacts, varied significantly based on historical context. My primary research focus centered on the diverse pantheon of gods present in Egyptian mythology and their symbolic representations. As I began writing about Hawaiian spirituality for Sacred Island of Hawaii, I encountered similar complexities in understanding the multitude of gods. While I initially questioned the necessity of delving into each deity's intricacies, I soon realized the interconnectedness among them, akin to a chain reaction, emphasizing the importance of comprehensively digesting relevant information. The authority and influence attributed to worshipped gods fluctuated based on temporal and geographical factors, emphasizing the necessity for a holistic understanding. In Japan's Shinto tradition, while the principal deity remains consistent nationwide, the associations with local gods vary regionally. Similarly, in ancient Egypt, the prominence of indigenous deities differed based on the specific temples constructed in each locale. As I delved into the mythology of ancient Egypt, a broader inquiry arose, extending beyond the confines of Egyptian deities to encompass gods featured in diverse religious traditions. Despite significant advancements in civilization compared to ancient eras, in contemporary society, gods remain substantial in people's lives globally. Religious art, such as statues and paintings, is a tangible expression of these divine entities. Through sculptures and artwork which portray formless beings in human-like forms, artists bridge the gap between the divine and the human realm. While gods are typically depicted as human figures, there are instances where they are represented as anthropomorphic animals or even inanimate objects, illustrating the diverse ways in which divinity is perceived and revered. Hence, I contemplated the fundamental definition of God. What precisely does the concept of God signify to those who adhere to religious beliefs? When contemplating the psychology behind belief in gods and their significance, the influence of the unseen realm becomes apparent. At the core of belief lies the acknowledgement of an intangible force, an entity that surpasses human understanding. Gods embody supernatural forces that transcend human capabilities. Similar to the adage advising to turn to God in times of distress, the essence of faith lies in the reverence and pursuit of these extraordinary beings existing beyond the confines of humanity. While gods dwell in a realm separate from the human world, they often manifest in human form, exemplified historically by individuals holding esteemed positions like kings. The commencement of the King Tutankhamun exhibition, featuring stone statues of pharaohs, immediately drew my attention to a statue of Amenhotep III adorned with a blue crown. Upon encountering an image of the statue online, I discerned a profound connection between ancient Egypt and the phenomenon of Ascension. This revelation illuminated the significance of the energetic field swirling around my forehead and penetrating my consciousness. Amenhotep III, the father of Akhenaten, first donned the distinctive blue crown. Characterized by its elongated oval shape with protruding sides resembling wings, adorned with intricate patterns, the blue crown features a cobra with a swirling body positioned at the center of the forehead, its tail extending to the back of the head. This depiction mirrors the golden hues I experienced during the transformative download on October 28, 2011, an exact replication of the energy flows path. The intricate patterns adorning the blue crown brought to mind the small round bumps that occasionally formed on my scalp when I experienced intense mental activity. Additionally, the wing-like protrusions corresponded to areas where I sometimes felt discomfort on the sides of my skull. Based on my experiences, the blue crown symbolizes a transformative energy centered around the head, or possibly related to the brain's vibrations and frequency patterns. Upon further examination, it became evident that all pharaoh crowns possessed dynamic design elements, harboring meanings far beyond conventional interpretation. This realization sparked my curiosity about various aspects of pharaoh regalia, including their heads, crowns, attire, accessories, portable items, and furnishings. By delving into the shapes, movements, and structures depicted, we might uncover hidden energetic expressions and reinterpret the significance of excavated artifacts in a new dimension, akin to the revelations brought about by the blue crown. Among the artifacts displayed in the funerary items section of King Tutankhamun's collection, one particular item caught my attention: the petite Triple Scarab Ring, standing only about 4 centimeters tall. It instantly resonated with me, as if I had been drawn to it for a reason. This ring stands out as one of the most significant discoveries among King Tutankhamun's treasures. Named the Triple Ring due to its 3 bands intended for wearing on the finger, 2 identical rings of this design were unearthed from different locations. The ring showcased in the exhibit was encased within bandages on King Tutankhamun's right hand, while the other, predominantly crafted from gold, was discovered in box 44 within the antechamber, alongside other jewelry. Both rings share identical design and structure, albeit with minor variations in materials and inlays. The centerpiece of the Triple Scarab Ring is a lapis lazuli scarab representing the sun god Khepri, flanked by symbols of royalty and divine authority. Adorned with the crown of Vatef and guarded by a uraeus crowned with a solar disk, the scarab is accompanied by depictions of the sun and moon barge and the falcon-headed god Horus with a solar disk atop his head. Remarkably, the intricate layout of this ring serves as a visual allegory, encapsulating profound insights into ancient Egyptian wisdom associated with Ascension. Encoded within the ring's pedestal is a symbolic representation of the energetic flow within the human skull during the Ascension process and the intricate interplay of brain substances. In the design of this ring, one notable feature is the connection between the pedestal and the 3 rings. Typically, if the 4 sides of the pedestal match the width of a circular, hexagonal, or octagonal shape, there would be no need to consider how the ring fits underneath. However, in the case of the Scarab Triple Ring, placing the scarab's head and tail on the pedestal suggests an intentional design choice. Traditionally, one would expect the scarab's head to face towards the fingertips when the ring is worn. However, in this instance, the scarab's orientation is positioned to illustrate 3 rings entering the front and back of the head. These 3 rings symbolize 3 channels connected to the head. A lotus flower is positioned at the center of the tips of the rings, flanked by tiny red buds on either side. The lotus flowers represent the essence that stimulates the brain, activating its full potential, and the substances that lead to awakening. The central large flower signifies the most potent essence, directed towards the brain's core and visual cortex, while the red buds on the sides target the right and left brain centers. On the back of the scarab, a spread-winged falcon symbolizes the power of the god Horus. This imagery signifies Horus's influence rising from the back of the head, unlocking the brain's functions fully and delivering substances such as DMT, symbolized by the solar disk, which leads to awakening and transcends the consciousness of the pharaoh to their ancestral homeland among the stars. In many depictions, the backs of pharaohs' heads and dignitaries are adorned with symbols of wisdom, such as a baboon, or imagery of birds with outstretched wings representing flight, ascension, and transcendence. Mural depictions found in pharaohs' tombs often portray a falcon carrying a solar disk within the head, suggesting the activation of the pineal gland, which is believed to emit DMT and facilitate spiritual awakening. The scarab positioned at the center of the triple ring's pedestal symbolizes the brain's central hub, akin to the third eye composed of the hypothalamus and thalamus. Atop the scarab's head rests the crown of a Tef, flanked by uraeus figures, each bearing a sun disk. These solar disks represent the illumination of the final 3 ignited lamps within the brain. The white crown, forming the bulk of the Atef crown, encompasses the brainstem and its higher sections. Emerging from the sacred mound is Ben, symbolizing enlightened matter. The feathers adorning the sides of the white crown signify the intellectual power that elevates and diffuses the illuminated substance, akin to the sun's radiance. The uraeus figures on either side depict 2 additional pathways, with the sun disks on their heads representing the lit lamps within the right and left brain centers. Before the scarab's head, a lunar barge carries a sun disk, serving as the portal through which the pharaoh's vision is transported to the realm of the stars. The circular portion resembling a lens symbolizes the portal, while the crescent moon below signifies the cyclical light flow around it. This celestial barge guides the pharaoh's consciousness between dimensions, propelled by the current of Uraeus toward a star, potentially in the Orion constellation, or perhaps Sirius. In its entirety, the scarab triple ring embodies the culmination of the pharaonic ascension journey. The brain's vital chemicals undergo refinement and purification throughout the body before being released into the brain. These substances, primarily emanating from the pineal gland at the back of the head, the pituitary gland at the front, and the thalamus at the center, ignite 3 key brain centers. The central zones of the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, and slightly above the forehead's midpoint. These brain substances travel through 3 distinct channels: blood vessels entering the right and left brain centers, and passages running from the rear of the head over the crown and above the forehead. The scarab emblemizes the third eye's function, primarily concentrated in the thalamus and hypothalamus, while the pedestal beneath it represents the brain's core. The 3 rings attached to the pedestal signify 3 conduits. Major blood vessels, diverging into 3 primary pathways, traverse between the cerebellum and cerebrum, extending from the rear to the crown and above the forehead into the brain's core. During the initial brain activation phase, a lengthy plasma-orange light, akin to a golden serpent, ascends sequentially from the nape, through the rear, to the crown, spiraling into the center of the forehead and the brain's core. At this juncture, closing the eyes unveils a crescent-like illumination flickering behind the eyelids, gradually intensifying. The remaining 2 conduits reach the core of the left and right temporal lobes. The sequence of brain center illumination begins with one side, the other culminating in the central brain lamp illuminating, rendering the interior vivid even in total darkness with eyes shut, a brightness exceeding that of daytime. In the subsequent phase, a potent surge of feather-like brain chemicals, inducing joy and tranquility, emanates from the summit of Ben, the sacred mound at the brain's core. Throughout these stages, not only the head but the entire body is enveloped in sedation, as endorphins, surpassing 6 times the potency of morphine, induce a state of general anesthesia. Eventually, the pineal gland unfurls, releasing the enigmatic brain compound known as DMT, facilitating the transition of consciousness to an extraterrestrial realm. Then, above the horizon leading to the stellar domain, a radiant, sun-like portal emerges, dazzling in its brilliance. Undoubtedly, the ultimate manifestation of Ascension finds three-dimensional and multidimensional expression within this diminutive Triple Scarab Ring. If you were to inquire whether all individuals intrigued by spiritual matters and Ascension share a fascination with ancient Egypt, the response would vary. A dear friend of mine adamantly expressed little interest in Egyptian lore. Despite my newfound curiosity in the wisdom of ancient Egypt, it was only kindled after being whisked away into a spacecraft during my Ascension journey. My perspective shifted when I commenced experiencing a continuous stream of mystical encounters from a wholly different dimension associated with Ascension. Through these novel experiences, I discerned that an unseen entity was imparting knowledge to me through first-hand encounters. This instruction transcended verbal communication, constituting a private tutelage grounded in expertise and first-hand experience. Initially bewildered by the nonsensical aspects of my newfound dimension of mystical encounters, I pondered their significance. I gradually gleaned that these occurrences were not random but unfolded in distinct stages. I understood that the expanding series of experiences harbored an invisible purpose geared towards a specific objective. It was not an isolated incident, but an ongoing phenomenon. Contemplating its implications and the recurring nature of these experiences led me to delve deeper into their significance. During my investigation, I stumbled upon an ancient Egyptian stone statue depicting Amenhotep III, adorned with a blue crown. The depiction of a spiraling snake on this crown illuminated the energetic pathway from the base of the skull to the forehead center, and then into the core of the head. Subsequently, the experiences intensified, culminating in my ascent through the golden portal. So, what transpired next? I beheld a celestial body adorned with two moons, unmistakably not Earth. Encounters with two beings from other planets or realms occurred. Inside a planet-sized colony, I witnessed a vast ecosystem of staggering proportions. Guidance through dream counseling sessions became more frequent. Instances of UFO sightings surged dramatically. Communication with extraterrestrial intelligence, ETI, escalated. These experiences related to Ascension are undeniably intertwined with significant ET encounters. Step by step, invisible mentors demonstrated to me how to establish contact and forge a deeper connection with them. This approach mirrors the mystical rituals employed by ancient Egyptian pharaohs to commune with deities dwelling in the celestial realm. The notion of traversing to the afterlife initially served as a method for journeying to the stellar realm while still alive. Much of this ancient wisdom persists not solely within ancient Egypt, but also across other ancient civilizations. Notably, parallels can be drawn between the teachings of Buddha, who attained enlightenment and returned to disseminate his teachings, and the esoteric Kalachakra empowerment in Tibetan Buddhism. Fundamentally, the ultimate teachings of Buddhism align with the mysteries of ancient Egypt. Much of the transformation leading to Ascension remains abstract. While I've perused various descriptions related to Ascension, detailed accounts of its progression still need to be made available. Abstract concepts, though reasonable for some, left me desiring more clarity. Therefore, I prayed for specificity from the cosmos. In response, tangible experiences continued to unfold. Reflecting on these mystical experiences, I pondered their significance. Should I keep them private? Share them discreetly with those eager to learn? Reserve them for those drawn to me and my journey? Or should I immortalize them in a book for all to read? Should it be a compilation of mystical experiences or a fantastical narrative? Or should I elucidate them clearly and sequentially, making the content accessible and applicable to all? The secret keys bestowed upon me by the treasures of ancient Egypt suggested fitting to expound upon them through this lens. What was imparted through these treasures transcends merely the ascension process and its diagrams. It delves into the underlying principles. The gods of ancient Egypt play a pivotal role in this discourse, as illustrating the principle of ascension necessitates an exploration of these divine entities. The deities of ancient Egypt are corporeal entities, yet their forms bear little resemblance to humans. The entities revered as gods essentially embody cosmic energies, serving as vital elements crucial for ascension. Ascension, the journey towards transcending to the celestial realm, is facilitated through internal alchemy. This process can be regarded as the pinnacle of creation, representing the ultimate method for spiritual evolution. The creation myth of ancient Egypt holds profound significance as a tangible blueprint for crafting the sublime brain substances necessary to attain ascension. The subsequent phases are stages of existence beyond the realm of humanity. To be continued. Watch the cinematic video trailer. Explore the archive. Cosmic Awakening Part 1, 1991. Peru, Journey into the Unknown Sacred Valley of the Incas. Part 2, Ascension 2012, The Golden Alchemy. Part 3, The First Contact. The World of ET Contacts, Beyond C5. Join the journey. New episodes drop periodically. Each chapter delivers a tight, hyper-focused 10 to 30-minute hit of real-life experiences, perfect for your daily plunge into consciousness exploration. Subscribe to support your inner development. Thumbs up to help push our channel through the algorithm. Comment below. Share your thoughts on today's exploration.